gonna... Mom, would you please close the door? Actually, I need to close both of them. I think the other one's open too. This one? Both doors. I'm sorry. I didn't realize this one was open too. Okay. Hey, Moo. Just me and you, Moo. Let's start the IG.
So there should be two more, right? No, you probably one, and then there should be one more. There's three viewers, right? But oh, never mind. Those numbers is fucked up. I just realized.
Nobody's saying hello. So rude. Okay. I got a late start to the show today, guys. I've been busy working out in the yard and having fun and just doing shit that I like to do. And God, I don't even have a blister on my hands. I was wearing double gloves, so you put on one pair of gloves and then you put another pair of gloves on over those gloves, and it worked. No blisters. And I've been digging for hours, man. I was out there digging and digging and digging and digging and digging and digging, and I just love it, just get out of whatever the hell I got going on in the world and just forget about it and just dig a hole and see what's down there. And I was trying to dig a hole because I had some poisonous plants that I wanted to dispose of, but I hit the water table. So as soon as I did that, I was like, well, I can't put the plants down here because that's going to contaminate the water down there. So, because this stuff causes your heart to stop beating. It causes heart failure, which I didn't know. And one of the wonderful women that worked for us when my father was here, she gave us this plant as a gift. Didn't even know what it was. She's like, it's a plant. She's pretty little succulent. We planted it outside. My mom planted it outside or whatever, and it just took off, and it took over, and all of a sudden it was everywhere, and I thought it was beautiful, so I started spreading it everywhere. I was like, oh, yeah, it's over here, and I'll just leave it there, and it's growing over there, and blah, 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 blah. It looks so cool. It looks like an octopus. I was all excited about it, and I was just researching it, and come to find out it causes heart failure. And if an animal takes a bite out of it, a dog, a cat, a deer, a raccoon, a rabbit, a bear, anything, it can cause heart failure. And there's no cure for it.
Wow.
Yeah. A human being, kill you. Every
Yeah, when you
single
said
part.
that, I thought it was just humans. I didn't realize it was animals also.
Yeah, every single part of the plant is toxic. And every single part of the plant causes heart failure.
Wow.
So, if I'd love to show you guys the video of the whole
Where's the plant native to?
Brew Decline. What's up, buddy? We'll see how long you last. I don't know. Probably hell. It probably came from hell, from the pit of hell. Because, what kind of a god would create something so pretty that looks so succulent and delicious that would cause your heart to stop beating? That's a great thing. So, but God's perfect.
God, so.
God's perfect. Why am I questioning God? No, let me show you this video. It's fun. This is just going to show you guys the hole that I dug. And shows you at the bottom of the hole that there's water down there. It's crazy. I know. It's crazy. But there it is. The water was just pouring out from all sides into that hole. It was everywhere that I hit down there. I could see water leaking out from north, south, east, and west. And you could see I dug a step in the back where I could get down lower and dig deeper. So there's like a square step right there down. So I was able to get really deep. I think it is deeper than 6 feet, actually. Now that I look at it, from where the level of the ground is, which is that lip, that edge there, where you could see where I put a kind of a walkway there around it, because I didn't want any animal to fall in there accidentally, because I know it could kill them. There's water down there, man. I struck water. pretty cool.
It is cool.
Okay, man. Cool. Just make sure we're live on Rumble. Everybody stop coming to the show.
Yeah, where are people?
Let me see, did the, yeah, notifications went out. Israel's been systematically destroying cemeteries in Gaza. Because...
No, I have not got any YouTube notifications.
Oh, okay, I did. Richard Brennan, hello. Because that is how you erase the history of an entire people. You destroy the cemeteries, and then there's no evidence that they ever lived there. That's why Israel's doing that. They have no other reason. And there's one cemetery that they didn't destroy because there were some Jews in that cemetery. So they destroyed around it. But they didn't disturb those graves. The Christians and the Jews were left untouched. But all the Gazans' graves plowed up like, you know, you're planting fields. And they did like 16 cemeteries like that. And CNN covered it. And they're pissed. And the guy that covered it for CNN, you could tell he was viscerally disturbed. And everyone should be disturbed by this. And everyone should be spreading the word that this is going on. This is exactly how you carry out a genocide. It's exactly how you do it. So I have to fix the waterfall. I see it's getting herky-jerky back there. Okay, there we go. Kepper, what's up? God bless America. Bitcoin's about to go up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Decine Brew, you know what, dude? You're just a pain in my ass. You say shit, it doesn't even make sense. I don't like it. You fixate on people. I don't like it. You're fucking creepy and weird. What do you mean cyber is everything? Just tell me exactly what you mean by that. What do you mean cyber is everything? What does that mean? Just explain it to me. Because you piss me off when you do this shit. And you do it all the time. You just fixate on people, bro. You can't just have a normal conversation. Yeah, I can't wait for your fucking response, dude. I'm on pins and needles. On pure vengeance and hatred? Well, Netanyahu certainly is, and you know the IDF, they do everything that he says, because they're all a bunch of cunt motherfuckers. My mom's home, so I gotta be careful what I say. She sends them money. She's got a fucking donor poster on the wall. Thank you for supporting us. We kill people. We kill people for you. We kill all the bad Arabs that you think are fucking hating you. He's been in a good mood lately. Okay, well, good. You know, why the fuck are you so worried about what Cyber's got going on in his life? How about this? Hey, Cyber, what's up, bro? You ever try that, you fucking idiot? You know? Why don't you just fucking talk to him instead of talking about him like he's an object? What is wrong with you, dude? You're about this close to getting blocked again. And I'll block you on Instagram. I'll block you on every fucking platform, dude. You really get under my skin, and it's almost it's weird. It's almost like it's intentional. But you pay way too much attention to this fucking show. I just really don't like the creepiness. You know what I mean? He's got no response. Why am I not surprised? Steve Running, Jeff Lund, bear market money. You fucking tell him, Nay. Bear market money, I shall. Thank you, my friend. Let's get Kepper on the screen here. Kepper. There we go. I'm trying to make it so you guys can see everything when you're on Instagram. I know it's hard, but I put everything in the middle of the screen for IG. That's why I'm doing that. So when you guys are out and about and you feel like watching the show and you don't want to, you don't have a computer or something, you just want to watch from IG. And you love the goddamn both of us, what? Shut it off. Okay. We love you too, Dekind Brew. Just don't be fucking creepy, bro. Quit treating people like you're fucking objects, man. It's so fucking internet. It's so internet and weird. Don't be like that, dude. You're not an internet baby. Okay. Sure you want it in them? You wanna shoot me, man? Mad Hippie Markings, what's up? Oh, you came and left, didn't you? You swiped right on by. You swiped right on past, didn't you, Mad Hippie Markings? It was good to see Don King's son. I want to shake Billy's hand. Yeah, a lot of people want to shake Billy's hand. That's the problem, man, is he doesn't want to shake your hand back. Just leave Billy the fuck alone. It's people like you that made him not want a podcast anymore. He didn't like the creeps. Why is that so hard for you to understand, dude? You're doing it again. Okay, at least you spelled Billy's name right. I give you points for that. Looks slick at the time. It's gonna be 14:30. 14:30. 14:30. Let's get the Bitcoin price on screen. Where's that happening at? Ooh. Okay, let's try this. This might work. Yes. Look at us. 41,724.35.
Those people on Instagram, can't they just go landscape mode and see the whole screen?
No. Instagram only live streams in portrait mode for some reason. It doesn't give me the option. If it does, I haven't seen it. Where are we at? 14:30. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, Cyber. Cheers, everybody in the chats. Dear Slayer, we needed you this morning, bro. That's so funny. Did you watch this morning show? We're like, Dear Slayer, I'll know if that's an 8-pointer. Cheers, Cyber.
Cheers, bro. Cheers, everybody.
No law regarding cannabis, everybody. Hash on top. What's up, buddy? Jennifer White, aloha. I've been fine. Thank you for asking. Richard Brennan, cheers. Deer Slayer, you want to see an 8-pointer from this morning?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's a big boy. Hell yeah, bro.
So they grow those horns out every year, right? They shed them.
And they break them off.
Yeah, but
They shake them off.
do they, every year they grow out, do they get higher and higher for each
They get
year?
1 more point every year.
Okay.
So you know that he's 4 years old. I believe Deer Slayer would be able to correct me on that if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert, but I believe that's it. He says he counted 8. Okay. So I spent the whole day doing manual labor. And I really enjoy it when I think it's doing something that I'm curious about or I'm interested in. Or making something clean, you know, like out here. I blew off the driveway with the blower, you know, and I found these gorgeous pieces of wood. I told you about them this morning. They're you will. We'll keep the show going. Deborah's on her way over. She's going to come smoke with us.
Oh, yeah.
You. So, I took these pictures. I mean, now, most people might not see the beauty in these, but where's the best place for me to post this? Let me post this on X. Oh, I'm sorry, on Twitter. Try to post, only cucks call it X. Railroad ties, etched by freshwater creek sand. Okay, so now that just went up on Twitter, and now I can just go to Twitter and show it to you. The T-dub. I like to call Twitter the T-dub. I'm going to have to make the brightness in here a little brighter, I'm afraid, even though it's cool because we can see outside really well if a bear walks by. And if I do, then we're not going to see outside as well. It kind of sucks. Okay, everybody check out this picture. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. You think that's pretty or not? And there's actually some mother of thousands plants that are growing in there. You can actually see it. But this one big one right here, I'm going to just zoom in on it. So you can see the etching. Just wait. Here, I'm going to bring it down the whole thing. And this thing, it's still wet and it's drying and it's getting prettier the drier it gets. Here, I'll let you see the pieces up there too. And almost all of that white mold that's on that one up on the top left is almost all gone from the sun bleaching it. The sun kills it. That's just moisture mold. So you'll see all that. Look at that sharp point. The sand did that. And see that part that looks like it's broken? It's not broken. It's like that. It's hard like that. It's good. Don't be a creep. And look, there's a little bit of green on there. And like I said, there's that mother of thousands plants. A couple of those are coming out of that, which I'm going to leave those on there. And then look at this. A little bit more of those. And look at this beautiful. Do you guys think that's pretty? And then there's another piece of railroad tie, a darker one, behind. You see that one? And look at the way that one's etched as well. And I've been brushing the sand off with a paintbrush and flipping them over and letting the sun dry them. They're going to be so freaking pretty, man. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, that was cool.
The Creekwood's cool. That, and I mean, that is super long. It's a railroad tie. It's close to 8 feet long. It's probably 6 or 7 feet long, I'm thinking, because it's been worn down on both sides. But you can see what the sand did to it over time. And that, to me, it's, you know, that railroad tie is not that old. It can't be more than 37 years old. You know, I'm pretty sure that my father put those railroad ties in. But, I mean, it could have floated down. It's possible. But I think that etching happens pretty fast.
I have no clue.
I mean, if we can determine that those railroad ties came from this property, then it's not older than 37 years or 40 years. I think we've been here just under 40 years. And those railroad ties were probably put in, you know, near the beginning. Yeah, because if not, then who knows how old those things are? I don't know. If they floated down, it's possible they floated down.
Yeah.
They just happened to be right where there were railroad ties. They were right in front of where railroad ties were, and they had fallen down in the creek. Huh. That is definitely a railroad tie, too, because that side is all rough looking, but if you flip it over, it's perfectly milled flat. It's got a right angle edge on it, you know, it's a tie, definitely. How old is the property? The house was built 40 years ago. This house was built 40 years ago, give or take. I want to say the house was built in 85. So, you know, 39 years ago. Wolf Jewel Extracts, what's up? Cool pieces. Spock. I can see both of those pieces of wood from here because I moved them. Yeah, man. I love watching what the sun does to those after you dry them out. It gets all the moisture out of the wood. And then you can really see all the lines. You know, it's so much more clear. You can see all the definition, the grain. I wonder if you just sandblasted wood, how long it would take to do that, to achieve that effect with a sandblaster.
I don't think that would take long at all. You can use a sandblaster to take paint and shit off, you know. So I don't think that would take long. Depending on the sandblaster and how much. I guess you can turn it up, right? I don't know, I'm not the biggest sandblaster.
Oh shit. I didn't realize you could sandblast rock and engrave with it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Holy shit. Wow. Oh my god. That's so fucking beautiful. Oh my god. That's so cool to watch a sandblaster just clean the age off of a piece of wood. I might have to get a sandblaster. From book to trash bin ASMR. Dude, let's watch this, man. How long? It's only 3 minutes and 22 seconds. I love this. Dude, this is one of the most gratifying things I've ever seen in my entire life. And let me just ask you this, Cyber, how do you feel about the royal family?
I don't care about them whatsoever.
I don't care about them whatsoever either.
No.
Dude, why can't I?
I don't think it's they should. I mean, we used to pay a lot more tax to them and shit, but I don't think we should pay to them just so they could be a fucking token symbol of fucking power. They have no power no more, you know. It's literally just for show. The royal family have no power in Denmark at all. I mean, I know it's different in United Kingdom, but in Denmark, they're literally just a token symbol. Nice. Oh, he epoxy it.
What the fuck?
That's epoxy, right? Or resin. Resin or epoxy. One of those two.
I am just so confused right now. I have no idea what this guy's gonna. A mold.
Make a little table or something.
Yeah.
And then he vacuumed it to get all the air bubbles out of the resin or
Several days later. Oh yeah, he's gonna.
I've
He's gonna.
seen that channel before. I know that shit. He do that a lot, where he resin shit up and then he carve it out and make small, even figurines or wood spoons or something out of it. I've seen that channel before. He's pretty awesome.
Dude, it's so cool. The name of the channel is David's Wood Turning. So, I don't know if he's going to allow me to use his content or not.
You right now is fair use. We're sitting and watching and talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. If he has copyright on his shit, he has the choice to fucking do whatever he wants to. It's not cool. All right, here's the finished product.
A little bucket, a little a mark.
Something to throw the trash in. It's got that cool little wood in between.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, it was funny cutting up that dude's book, but I wanted to see it cut up more. There's a whole bunch of different channels like that. Wood turning.
Talking about the royal family, Denmark just got a king. We haven't had that in fucking 50 years or something like that.
So that was not an election. That's by birth, right?
Yeah.
Birthright?
The queen, she was old as shit, and she stepped down, and then he took over. He's old now. I think he's 60 years old or something like that. So the queen was 90 or something like that when she stepped down. I mean, there's no fucking reason for that shit.
Wilderness Junkie, hello.
Just the fucking jokes. But back in the 80s and shit, there was a crown prince and then another prince. I don't know, it's just a normal prince. And the crown prince was fucking taken all the time by the police for fucking speeding and shit. He never did anything because he would be the next king, you know.
Right.
His license plate on the car was Royal One and shit like that, you know. I mean,
that's hilarious.
That school they went on, he was riding skateboard down the halls and shit. He was a real fucking rebel, actually. But I really don't care about the royal family, to be honest.
Oh, I saw Maserati last night.
Oh, nice.
It was a brand new one too, pearl white.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I actually don't ever think I've seen a Maserati in real life. I see Ferrari and Porsche and I actually seen a Lamborghini.
Why are you?
I don't think I've ever seen a Maserati in real life.
Wow. Used Maseratis are really cheap, this guy says.
Reality is I've got 5 reasons why, in fact, used Maseratis are so cheap. Let's get into it now. 18, there were some that had some bad welding in the frame and essentially was a potential risk. Another one, of course, is 2017 to 2019 model years, the ECM software had to be updated because it could randomly stop the vehicle. The engine would stop. Could you imagine cruising down the freeway and it pumps the brakes? Transmission would then go into park and there you go, there you sit. Another issue, of course, some fit and finish items were a concern. Some of the windshield molding, like some of this molding here, had to be repaired and replaced on a few occasions. Like this, we have doors that won't close completely.
It sounds like the quality of fucking Tesla, man. Jesus Christ.
Really? Are they that bad?
It sounds like it.
Lots of complaints around that. Electrics have always been plaguing some of these vehicles from Maserati. So unfortunately, that is a thing ongoing. Regardless of what model you pick, there's always a bit of a risk of something doing a shutdown or a firmware update or something glitching out. That just seems to be the way it is if you want this level of Italian personality. And then there's the Ghibli, which feels actually more like a Chrysler product. And if you look inside, there are a lot of parts and switchgear and features that do feel very dressed down and feel like they're from the Chrysler parts bin. But the Chrysler treatment can usually be offset quite well, depending on how you dress that car up. If you put more carbon fiber in there, nicer leather touches, some...
That car kind of looked like this one.
So why did I rush out?
That Maserati last night kind of looked like this one.
Cool and stupid as buying one of these.
Except it was white.
Afford it really. Well, the answer to that is it was a very good price. It was a very good price for a reason, but it was the sort of price.
He doesn't really give you a good view of it. He's standing in front of it the whole time because he's a cunt.
On eBay, and some
Oh, here we go.
And you start thinking, I mean, I have wanted one of these for years, but I've never.
Dude, it is a badass looking car, man. Holy shit. Fucking A, bro. That car right there is actually sportier than the one I saw last night. Or if it was the same model, it's because that one was white. And just being dark is much more striking, I think.
Yeah, it looks better.
Damn, bro. It looks like that goddamn Batmobile.
It kind of does.
Fuck.
Never had the ability to buy one because I've never been able to chomp together enough money for one. Bearing in mind the
Yeah, it kind of has a, because that front end kind of reminds me of a Corvette a little bit from that angle.
So, how come I got this and how much?
But this thing is, wow. Guy made a video and had somebody. Oh no, he was doing all that. Oh God, dude, this guy's gonna give himself a heart attack. Crime scene cam. Lyft driver makes the biggest mistake of her life. It makes you want to watch it. Pierce Morgan shows Carrie Lake how MAGA lies can backfire. 2 days ago. 9 minutes. MAGA lies. Okay, I'll bite. I'm down.
British journalist Piers Morgan recently interviewed MAGA cultist and aspiring Republican senator for Arizona, Carrie Lake, about Donald Trump's electoral prospects in the event that he's convicted of any of the 91 federal charges he faces, and about whether any of us should respect the outcome of the election if Trump wins, given that election denialism is all the rage thanks to Trump and his movement. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert buttons before you go. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, we have several clips to look at in this video. As I often say when we discuss Piers Morgan, I disagree with virtually all of his political opinions. He pitches himself as an enlightened centrist, which basically means he's a closet conservative. He constantly grades conservatives and the right and Trump and Republicans on a curve, and I despise that. But he is an excellent interviewer, no matter who he is facing. And he's interviewed...
That's a really good take on Piers Morgan, dude. This guy was that's really accurate, and he's dead on. Yeah, and he is a good interviewer, and he's a great debater, and he's fair, and he gives people a platform.
Carrie Lake.
You know, people that normally wouldn't be able to get a platform anywhere else.
Pass, and his expertise with her comes in handy
So
here.
that was fair.
In this first clip, he asks her about Donald Trump's electoral prospects in the event that he's convicted of any of the felonies he faces.
What if he's in prison? I mean, genuine question. He's facing 91 criminal charges. What if he's convicted of one or some of those charges and actually gets put into a prison cell? I mean, it could happen. Under the Constitution, he would still be able to run the country, but would that be a good thing?
We've seen the witch hunts. They've been going on since President Trump had the courage to step into the political arena. There's been one witch hunt after the next, and most of it fueled by the media, sadly. And even if he was sitting in Alcatraz, the people will vote for him because they know that he is going to put America first.
A Gran Turismo. Oh. Maserati Gran Turismo is where you say that's probably what you saw. Yeah. Maserati Gran Turismo, bro. That is the fucking car, dude. That's the car we saw last night, I'm pretty sure. This was one in yellow, and oh my god. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the car we saw, bro. I'm looking right at it. No, Maserati wants to know my location. Of course they do. Fuck you. All right. I don't want to buy a Maserati. I don't want to buy a Maserati. Don't want to buy a Maserati. Not interested. Now I'm going to get inundated with Maserati ads because I looked at them on the internet.
That's how it works.
Let me figure this out. Whoa. Look at that car. Oh, fuck. Dude, wait. It was white. Yep, that was the car, bro. I'm telling you, man. It was a pearl white. It was... Yeah, it was totally that color right there. That is the car we saw, bro. And can you spin this one around? You can't turn it around. That's kind of sucks. At least you can change the color of it. But look at it in yellow, bro.
That's not my color. I don't like that.
I know, well, just you could see everything on it. And yellow is so revealing.
I don't like yellow.
But this car was that color last night. It was Grigio Cangiante Fioriceri. Whatever.
They shouldn't have shifted the background also.
I know, it's weird, right? I don't like that they do that. I want to see it.
It's fucking ruined everything.
I know, I mean, at least on this one, it's got more of a grayish background, and it kind of stands out. That car stood out like that last night, man. We walked by it, and I was just like... There were Teslas all over the parking lot, but this one was like, wow.
First.
Not exactly sure that Donald Trump ever put America first. We recently found out a conclusive report that Donald Trump received at least $8 million from foreign powers that he pocketed himself, right? So it seems to me that Donald Trump is Trump first and everybody else second. But the fact of the matter is Kari Lake has some reason to be confident here.
Weak argument.
Not only have major prominent Republican officials, including virtually all of his rivals,
If Donald Trump took $8 million and he secured billions of dollars of deals for the country, I don't think I'd really see a problem in that. I'd seriously look at that as a billionaire taking a very fair fee for work, for doing labor, you know, and that would be for a billionaire, and Donald Trump is a billionaire. You know, $8 million is fucking nothing, man. $1 billion is 1,000 million, guys. So, you know, this guy right here just lost a point, big time. Just, it was like, that was so weak. It was like, it's like he's got Trump derangement syndrome. You can't just say shit that doesn't hit and act like you've got something, you know, you totally lose your argument. You lose your narrative that you're trying to force on people.
Said that they would back Trump even if he's convicted, but there's actually evidence among the constituents as well. The Iowa Republican caucus was recently held, and the majority, a distinct majority of Republicans in Iowa said that even if Trump is convicted, they still think he's fit to be president, right? So that predictably cultish answer from Kari Lake has at least some degree of terrifying truth to it. However, there's always a however. Donald Trump and Kari Lake have some reason to be nervous, right? So this is from the New York Times. The negative impact of conviction on Trump has emerged in polling as a consistent through line over the past 6 months, nationally and in key states. We're not aware of a poll that offers any evidence to the contrary. The swing in this data away from Trump varies, but in a close election, as 2024 promises to be, any movement can be decisive. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the fact that polling has consistently shown that if Donald Trump is convicted of any of the felonies, that at least a statistically relevant portion of Republican voters will not support him in the 2024 election. Certainly not half, definitely not a majority, but enough if the polling is accurate and it holds true to the election, which is 10 months away. All of these things are big ifs. That means if Trump is convicted, that he will probably lose as a result of that because enough Republicans will not support him. Again, if. Now, in this next clip, Piers Morgan, to me, asks a much more interesting question, which is, okay, let's assume Trump wins the election.
46-50.
Why should any of us respect the outcome of the election,
46-50.
given all the lies that you've all told and the election denialism you've all indulged in?
46-50.
How about we flip it around on you?
If he wants to win a general election, why should any of us accept the result? Why shouldn't we just all pull a Trump and say, no, not having it, never happened. The other guy Biden got stolen, got robbed, and just keep saying that for the entire tenure of Trump's second term. I mean, seriously, why shouldn't Americans just not me, but Americans just return the favor?
Yeah. We heard that in 2016. Remember, Hillary was the original election denier. That's the term they use. We've all been called that.
20
this is one of
seconds.
the reasons,
You ready, Cyber?
Why I've been pushing and working really hard to bring about election reform. Because frankly, since 2000, we've had elections.
10 seconds.
1 year it'll be the Democrats saying they don't think
No
it was
law
fair.
regarding
The next
cannabis.
time
Cheers,
it's the
Cyber.
Republicans.
Cheers, everybody in the
We
chats.
have the ability to make our elections so fair that we wake up the next day after the election and everyone can live with the results because they know it was fair. And that's why I continue to push to try to reform our elections so that Democrats feel comfortable and believe in the results, independents and Republicans. And I think President Trump wants to see.
Karen, we've debated this before, but my problem with that is, to any independent eye, they have been fair. Your election, Trump's election, they were fair. And most senior Republicans have accepted this. And to continue bleating about having an election robbed makes it difficult for you to then claim victory, doesn't it, in elections?
Well, I will point out that you brought up the whole topic. So it was your topic that you brought up and asked me about. And I just answered. So I think we're going to work to bring about reform. I mean, I think more and more Americans are realizing that mail-in ballots and having them float around out there for a month and voting for a month and counting votes for 2 weeks is a recipe for fraud to seep into our elections.
Oh, come on, lady. Shut up.
Fair elections that everybody is comfortable with.
The problem is that the only elections that Republicans
Tasty
are comfortable
dabs.
with are the ones they win, period. Now, first things first,
Oh my God, so flowery and tasty.
Carrie Lake's media training. She used to be a TV anchor in Arizona. She's very, very good on camera, and I'm not just referring to the ring light, right, which is just like blowing all the details away. She is very skilled at giving answers, as crazy as she is. And she tried to create a false equivalence between Trump's election denialism and Hillary Clinton's election denialism in 2016. And the right does this all the time. But there are crucial differences. One of them being that Hillary Clinton formally, publicly conceded to Donald Trump the day after the election and actually called him the night of the election to concede to him privately. These are crucial differences. I just want to remind you.
She didn't even show up at her own frickin'... Last night you stayed home and you didn't come out and give a speech, you idiot. I remember that.
So again, she conceded privately the day of the election and
conceded
publicly the day after the election.
True.
Donald Trump has never done that. Because
she wasn't.
Hillary Clinton.
Because she wasn't. Hey, why did Hillary wait a day to concede the election? It's a joke. Are you ready for the answer? Because she wasn't man enough. Boom!
Is morally and intellectually vastly superior to Donald Trump, and there is no false equivalence. She didn't try to sue her way into the White House. She formally and publicly and privately conceded, and there was nothing like the election denialism of 2020 in 2016. So Carrie Lake is completely wrong on this. But it's also disturbing because an increasing number of Republicans are in denial about the 2020 election. There was more widespread election denialism than there ought to be, given that the facts didn't support it. But as time has gone on, more and more Republicans don't believe that President Biden won the election fairly.
So ask folks, do you think Joe Biden legitimately won the 2020 election? 68%, more than 2/3 of those in these early entrance poll results showing up early to the caucus sites say no, he did not. Wrongly say no, he did not win legitimately in 2020.
That is how pervasive election denialism is for the Republican Party. Other polls put it at 88%. So Trump voters in Iowa, did Biden win legitimately in 2020? 88% say no. So there is no, any equivalence, any attempted equivalence between the left and the right on this is indeed a false equivalence. This is a relatively unique problem.
Okay, that's fair. You know, he's obviously a lefty, this guy. And that's a fair take. Now, what a right winger would say is, well, what about y'all? And they would be perfectly legitimate in asserting that. Because Hillary Clinton, when she lost, spent a whole fucking 4 years of Trump's term in office going on social media, television shows, getting interviewed, and claiming that the Russians won the election for Donald Trump. And you can find clips of Hillary Clinton saying that. So she was an election denialist too, and Narrative Boy here doesn't want to mention that. It's funny, right? You know, we should get on YouTube and be like, Hillary Clinton Russian interference in her election, and find interviews with her talking about that. And you know, he should cover that, right? Pondering. Why don't you ponder that? Pondering politics. Boom. Alex Jones responds to Super Deluxe's indie folk song. Okay, this should be pretty exciting and interesting.
You see people who think God's hand. You see people say they can't let baby.
No, there's no respond. That's weird. Oh, wait. Nope, there's no respond. I don't know what that is. That's weird.
You can tweet all you want, but at the end of the day, lawmakers, rightfully so, only respond to what voters want. Their constituents are the people that actually go to the polls and vote for them. There's a reason why, you know, criminal justice looks the way it does in the United States, and it's because the demographic of people voting are not the demographic of people that are most often impacted by the criminal justice system. And I think that, you know, when we say like voting is the least we can do, I mean, young people don't do it. Like they don't vote. Like, and if you're not willing to vote, like.
We are live as it happens. Hello. Here we are in scenic. What city is this?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. We just had Congressman Ro Khanna on talking about, well, a number of things, but mostly, I think, how to get people engaged. Vote Dems, ideally. I'm sure we all have somewhat aligned views on that. But to kick things off, I wanted to talk about something that, at the very least, I know you and I have worked on. Progressive Victory, the fine people who set all this up. They're a canvassing org that we've thrown people towards as streamers. And as a result of that, thousands of folks have gone on out and canvassed. It's given me a lot of hope for, I guess, live streaming or new media as a mechanism for political onboarding. I was just curious what everyone's thoughts were on that with regards to, like, the new path forward.
You guys tell me, because you know, I don't know what the young people are up to nowadays.
I feel like the two...
Vaping, yeah, I do know. I've seen that.
I feel like the two important things for people are, if you're in the online content space, the rhetoric about like Dems and Republicans being the same has to stop. It's absolutely patently ridiculous. If you look at voting records, if you look at stance on issues, Democrats and Republicans stand in stark opposition to one another. So I think it's important to make it seem like voting for Democrats are a worthwhile proposition, if for no other reason because of the composition of the Supreme Court. And then I think the second thing that's important is to make it seem like there is actual change that can happen if you engage with the system. And I feel like too many people are so quick to throw in the towel and say like, you know, it doesn't matter who you vote for, it doesn't matter what happens, it's all politicians, it's all the same game at the end of the day, everybody has corporate buyers and lobbyists and blah, blah, blah. And I think at the end of the day, when you consume enough of that media, you feel like, why does it matter? Like, why engage at all? And that's really frustrating to me to say those two things. On a third thing too, it's hard to encourage this as a streamer because we are so national or international with our outreach. getting more engaged at the local level. It's so easy to get engaged and see real, tangible results from your actions than trying to engage at the national level, where it's like I threw $5 at AOC, and now I don't really know, what my impact is beyond that.
I mean, yeah, certainly. I think that it's very important to make sure that your political engagement just does not end with just voting, right? Like, voting for Democrats is essentially, it's essential, right? You have to do that. You have to vote for Democrats in general elections. I do believe that. But at the same time, that is one of, like, the least, it's the least you can do with political engagement, right? Get involved locally, as you said. Get involved with your local DSA, because if it's just about electoralism, you're going to feel a little bit alienated, right? Because you're not Biden. For most young people, he doesn't represent them. Like, he doesn't necessarily connect with them. And that's why voting, I would imagine, or I would advocate, should be something that you do, but not necessarily where your political engagement ends.
I agree with that, but I would say that voting is the most important thing, and almost nothing else matters if you're not willing to vote. There's way too much online activism. It happens in the streamer world, happens in the YouTube world, it happens on Twitter. You can tweet all you want, but at the end of the day, lawmakers, rightfully so, only respond to what voters want. Their constituents are the people that actually go to the polls and vote for them. There's a reason why, criminal justice looks the way it does in the United States, and it's because the demographic of people voting are not the demographic of people that are most often impacted by the criminal justice system. And I think that, when we say, voting is the least we can do, I mean, young people don't do it. They don't vote. And if you're not willing to vote, nobody's gonna, and they shouldn't listen to you, because at the end of the day, a politician's job is to get reelected. And if you're not going to go out and actually show up and vote for said politicians, why should they ever listen to anything you have to say?
Yeah, and the NLRB and the FTC right now are probably the best cases to make that point, that politics and elections actually do matter. Because if you're somebody who says, well, actually, the only thing I care about is, organizing Starbucks or organizing Amazon or supporting the UAW, if you don't have a National Labor Relations Board that is supportive of labor rights, it's going to be a much tougher climb. And even when it comes to antitrust and monopoly.
Ryan Grimm will put anybody to sleep. Here, we'll move on. You can't listen to Ryan Grimm. I mean, I understand.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Wall Street Millennial. On this channel and podcast, we cover everything related to stocks and investing. This past June, Celsius shocked the crypto world when it halted customer withdrawals. Before this, Celsius was one of the largest centralized crypto lending platforms, boasting 1.7 million customers and more than $20 billion of assets at its peak. Celsius marketed itself as an alternative to the traditional financial system.
So this is the company that ripped me off. Okay, I had $100,000 worth of crypto sitting in Celsius, and he stole it. And if it was still sitting there, their software is still tracking my crypto. It's worth $170,000 now, and they're only going to give me like $60,000 of all that back.
And CEO Alex Mashinsky.
And I'm only going to get like 49 or 50% of it in crypto, and the rest is going to be in stock of some new fucking company that they made.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just fucking knocked a fucking soda all over the fucking floor, man.
Hell. That sucks. Hell no.
Want to smoke?
No, I will in a minute. I'm waiting for my girlie to get here, and she's gonna be here really soon.
How soon?
I have a feeling. I don't know, man. Just depends on.
That's not.
This thing is. What's the goddamn date? Oh, that was yesterday. Yes, that was.
Yes.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, everybody.
Shad, come in there. What the hell was that? Oh. Oh, it's gonna be a while. Cheers, Cyber. I just got a message from her.
Cheers. Hold on, let me pay them.
I'm probably not gonna be live when she gets here. So let's go with the glue. So this is the guy, Alex Mashinsky. This is the guy who ripped me off, and it was slogans like "banks are not your friends" that he floated towards me that made me trust him, and why I put so much fucking money and faith in him.
You would often wear a shirt saying banks are not your friends.
Unbank yourself.
This led many customers to view Celsius as safer than traditional banks.
Isn't that funny?
But nothing could be further from the truth.
Exactly.
1 month after freezing withdrawals, Celsius officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. To date, customers have still not been able to withdraw their funds, and it could take years before they get any of their crypto back, if they get anything at all. In this video and podcast, we'll look at what's going on with the Celsius bankruptcy, whether customers will ever get their money back, and finally, whether Celsius was a Ponzi scheme from the beginning. Celsius grew in popularity throughout 2020 and 2021, as many investors were drawn to the high interest rates that they offered. You could earn yields of around 10% on stablecoins and up to 17% on some crypto coins. At its peak, the company boasted 1.7 million users, with over $20 billion worth of crypto deposited on the platform. But on June 23, 2022, the house of cards came crumbling down when they suspended withdrawals, effectively locking away the life savings for thousands of individual investors. So what happened? The billions of dollars of customer deposits, where did they go? We got some new information when they officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. And it's not
Alright,
looking great for
cheers.
Celsius
No longer got
customers.
cannabis. Cheers, Cyber. Cheers, everybody.
The most important thing to understand about Celsius is that when you deposit crypto onto the platform, you no longer own your coins. Celsius gains ownership rights, and they can do pretty much whatever they want with them. So what does this mean? Let's say you open an account with a traditional stock brokerage and you want to buy a stock. So you deposit some money and buy a share of Apple, for example. Your broker will go to the stock exchange and buy 1 share of Apple. The broker has a massive portfolio of all the stocks its customers own. Within that portfolio, there's 1 share of Apple with your name on it, which you can sell at any time. Celsius is different. Let's say you open a Celsius account and deposit 2 Bitcoins, which you want to earn yield on. When you open your Celsius app, on the screen it will show that you own 2 Bitcoins. But Celsius doesn't have 2 Bitcoins with your name on it. They can sell your Bitcoin deposits and buy other cryptocurrencies. They would then engage in complex yield farming and other trading strategies. When you decide to withdraw, they can hopefully use their trading profits to buy Bitcoins on the open market to make good on your request. Celsius wasn't really a crypto brokerage. They were actually acting more like a hedge fund, using their customer deposits as unsecured loans to fund their speculative crypto investments. The main event that catalyzed Celsius's eventual bankruptcy was the collapse of the algorithmic stablecoin Terra UST. Celsius had invested some customer money into UST. To their credit, they did close the position very quickly once the $1 peg broke, and they only suffered a $15 million loss. As we've covered on this channel previously, Luna Terra was little more than a Ponzi scheme, which was destined to fail from the beginning. The fact that Celsius was willing to invest in UST shows a shocking lack of sophistication on the part of their management team. And while UST was not directly responsible for Celsius's bankruptcy, it started a chain of events which ultimately led to the company's demise. The crypto hedge fund 3 Arrows Capital suffered heavy losses on its Luna position, and ultimately they went bankrupt. Celsius had lent $75 million to 3 Arrows Capital, which they defaulted on. Celsius was able to recover some of this loan, but $40 million is still outstanding, and will likely never be returned. And things were about to get even worse. Celsius had staked hundreds of millions of dollars worth of its customers' Ethereum tokens into ST-ETH. The ST-ETH tokens are supposed to eventually be converted into regular Ethereum, but nobody really knows when or if this will ever happen. But theoretically, ST-ETH should trade at the same price as regular ETH. However, 3AC and at least one other large crypto fund were forced to start selling their ST-ETH to meet margin calls after the Luna collapse. This caused the price to fall below the 1-to-1 peg with ETH. Celsius customers saw what was happening and got nervous, so they started withdrawing their Ethereum holdings from the platform hand over fist. Before the Luna disaster, Celsius would experience about $20 to $30 million of outflows per day. But after the Luna disaster, outflows exploded to more than $500 million on May 12th. To meet those requests, Celsius was forced to start dumping its ST-ETH. This massive selling pressure pushed the price down even further, leading Celsius to incur significant losses. Celsius's management team organized an emergency meeting to figure out what to
Those
do.
people
At the current rate of withdrawals, they would run out of
are
money and go bankrupt.
they're trying to get
So they decided
clawbacks
to
off of those
preemptively halt
people.
withdrawals to buy themselves.
So all the people who are withdrawing right up until Celsius went bankrupt, they try to issue an order for them to have to give that money back. It's fucking crazy. They're called clawbacks. Oops.
Some more time. In the bankruptcy documents, they compared their situation to a run on the bank. Bank runs occur when depositors lose confidence in a bank and immediately start withdrawing all their money. This causes the bank to go bankrupt, even if they would have been perfectly solvent had it not been for the panic. Let's say you deposit $100,000 into a regular banking account. The bank loans this money to a home buyer for a 15-year mortgage. Over the course of 15 years, the bank will receive $200,000 in mortgage payments, more than enough to satisfy your deposits. But if everyone comes demanding their deposits back after just 1 year, the bank won't have enough cash on hand to honor this because it's all locked up in mortgages. So did something similar happen with Celsius? Kind of, but it's much worse. If we take a look at Celsius's balance sheet, at the time of their bankruptcy, they had $5.5 billion of liabilities, most of which were their frozen customer deposits. They only had $4.3 billion of assets, leaving a $1.2 billion hole. So not only is Celsius having a liquidity crisis, they're also insolvent. No matter how long you give them, they may never be able to make back this $1.2 billion deficit. But even this $1.2 billion deficit appears to be significantly understated. One of the assets that they claimed on their balance sheet is $600 million worth of CEL tokens. CEL token is a cryptocurrency that Celsius created. Celsius customers can earn higher yields if they agree to accept their interest payments in CEL tokens. Now that customer accounts are frozen, it's questionable whether these coins should have any value at all. At the time they made this claim, the entire market cap of CEL token was $170 million, according to CoinMarketCap. So the claim that their holdings are worth $600 million appears to be ridiculous. Recently, the price of CEL has pumped, and it now has a $900 million market cap. We'll delve into this price action later on in the video. Another item on their balance sheet is $1.75 billion worth of crypto assets. Given the fact that they claim their CEL tokens to be worth $600 million, I would take this number with a large grain of salt. And finally,
This goes on and on. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I'm out of here. I will see you tomorrow. Cyber, thank you.
Anytime, bro.
All right, everybody, take care. Peace.
Yeah.
Bye.